crunch, bring it back, single leg swing. Let me teach you how to wrestle. Okay. Let me teach you how to wrestle.
And welcome back to Wrestling Mindset. Today we're here with All-American from Nebraska, Antrell Taylor. Trelly, what's going on?
What's up, man? How are you? How are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Yeah, so awesome. I mean, All-American, Nebraska, great stuff. I talk about the NCAA tournament.
So yeah, it was my first time going out to the NCAA tournament, and I always heard of how difficult of a tournament it was, and just how much of a grind. And it wasn't short of that. 3 days of just tough wrestling all throughout, and it was definitely a fun experience for my first time, and I think I did really, really well for sure.
Well, yeah, you sore still? We're only a couple days removed.
You say, no, I'm not too sore actually. I'm pretty recovered. Went to the chiropractor a couple days ago, and now I'm all good.
Smart, good. So you were what, 5-3 last year to being an All-American?
Yep, 5-3, my redshirt season.
This is somewhat similar to Jordan Burroughs. He had like a 500 record his freshman year or something like that, and then when going on to taking third the next year. I mean, that's a huge jump.
That's funny you say that, because I was talking to him on, I think it was Friday, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I think I might be doing a little better than you my freshman year. I'm out here about to get eighth, and then he was like, "You got to make some big jumps next year." I got third my second year, and I was like, "Yeah, got some big shoes to fill for sure." But
oh yeah, no, but
I was joking with him about that exact scenario, the third place thing.
Yeah, well, I'm a Jersey guy. Jordan, James Green, they're both from New Jersey, and like they were good wrestlers in high school for sure. But like once they got to Nebraska, and with the coaching staff, the facilities, all the great people there, they definitely jumped. I don't want to say jumped like one level; they jumped multiple levels. So, and we're seeing the same thing with you. Talk about that a little bit, and Nebraska and how that's helped.
I just feel like the work ethic that we put in, like throughout the summertime, in the summer we get up 5 o'clock in the morning, run the stadiums. Like we do that every week, and that definitely helps with make jumps like that, like just getting your conditioning right. And then during season, it's just a grind. We always work the hardest. We work the hardest like throughout the whole season, and just we have 2-a-days during Christmas break, and then stuff like that. Like we work hard for sure. That's like a big part of our circle.
Yeah.
For sure.
Talk about what's helped you improve so much over the last year, because obviously you're good at coming in, but then
like wrestling wise, I feel like my biggest jump was, so college is a lot of hand fighting. High school, there's not too much, like a lot of dudes will just shoot in, but like in college, I got to learn like you have to break it down. You can't just dive into a shot. Well, some people still just dive in a shot just to get to the leg, but you have to work towards like little pieces of the hand fight is the biggest thing. And Tervel helps me like learn about that stuff. Just like the hand fight's the biggest part. So I feel like that's like what really made me get to where I am, is just getting better at the hand fighting and knowing when to attack, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and
Tervel.
And Tervel's his wrestling IQ is just sky high, and not just wrestling, but also
he's a wizard.
Oh yeah,
He's a wizard.
And I mean, I wrestled at UPenn back in the day, and Zeke Jones was the coach, and he coached Tervel at the Olympics and everything, and he always said how high Tervel's wrestling IQ is, and Zeke was like the only American to win the most technical wrestler in the world award, and he said that about Tervel, so it just shows he knows.
That says a lot. And literally everyone I talk to is like, yeah, Tervel's a wizard. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Imagine being around him every day. It's nice, for sure.
And he talks a lot about also the mental side of the sport. And obviously we do a lot of wrestling mindset. The mental. Talk about what are some of the things that Tervel and the other coaches talk about in terms of the mindset, keeping yourself mentally and emotionally ready.
So a lot of the coaches, they thrive on like telling us to not let the moment get too big and like just stay in the moment. That was like our big thing this year. Just stay in the moment. Don't let the moment get too big, and just go out there and wrestle. And something that Tervel told us, like, I think it might have been like the middle of the year. He was like, just always like say a joke before you go out there or something. Like always have like your certain something you do before you go out and wrestle. And Tervel's was like, he was always say like, what if I just don't go out here and wrestle? Like he's obviously going to go out there and wrestle still, but like it's just a joke in that heat of the moment. Like right before you go out there and wrestle.
No, I love it. We actually tell guys that's like one of the 4 things we tell them to do with the pre-match routine, to have some kind of element of fun, something you do to, take yourself out of, instead of being so serious. Like exactly like you said. I think anyone who's done this knows what you're talking about there, where it's like, well, maybe I don't even go out there. It's like, obviously that's absurd, but it's like, it changes it, but it changes it in your head. Cause
like, it honestly does.
Yeah. So like little things like that, no matter what it is, that's big. And knowing, having it, do you have a plan of what that might be before the match? So you're planned, or you just kind of like let it fly with that? Like, well, I'll just try to do something funny or think something.
I just kind of see if it's open, it's open. Kind of like, I don't really have a plan when I'm going out there. I know like the moves I want to do, but like if you go out there having a set plan, I feel like, and you get punched in the mouth, then it just messes your plan up. So I just feel like going out there with an open mind and just knowing the moves you have in your arsenal, and just always keep it in the back of your head. Because like if you think something's gonna be there and it's not, then it's like, oh man, it's not there. The leg's not there. So you don't want to get too worked up about the part.
Absolutely, you don't. And just when so much could happen in a match, and you were in one of the toughest, if not the toughest weight in the NCAAs. So I mean, talk about that a little bit. Knowing you're going against the best guys.
It was definitely a fun challenge to take up. Like at the start of the year, I was a little undersized, so I was like, man, I don't know if I could hang with these dudes. But then my coaches are like, man, you're the man. Like you can wrestle with anybody. And then my confidence started just slowly building throughout the year, and just I didn't really. It was like a faceless opponent when I went out there. I just wrestled how I'd wrestle against anybody, like in the practice room or whatever. I just kind of went out there and just wrestled. Don't care about the results. Sure.
That's right. No, and that's huge. And I watched your match with Messenbrink, and I mean he's got to be one of the favorites coming back. And I mean I feel like you got a really good style for him. I mean that was anyone's match. And I mean like first of all, he's lucky you didn't pin him in the beginning. You chucked him right away. He had your leg all the way back, and you just like kicked out. And it's like that usually doesn't happen against people who are so good. And like even on bottom, you're like reaching all the way back, and you're getting out. So I'm like, man, this guy's got the style to beat him. Like, I don't think that's a good matchup for him.
Yeah, appreciate that. I appreciate it. He's definitely a tough wrestler. I definitely like to wrestle against him again. It's fun to wrestle with. He's fun to wrestle with for sure.
Oh yeah,
tough dude.
Both of you guys are just awesome to watch. It's fun to watch wrestling. I mean, like I said, being in those tough weights, knowing you're going against guys who are so good, and them knowing they're going against you is so good. So now you're on people's radar. Like maybe last year or this year you flew under the radar a little bit. I mean, the guys.
Yeah, for sure.
When you know, you know. But like now the guys for sure you're on the radar. Talk about how does that change anything for you mentally, or? The time is now to take your mindset to the next level with Wrestling Mindset. Make sure you go to our website, wrestlingmindset.com, and sign up for your free trial session today. Don't wait any longer. You want the mental edge right now. When you sign up for the free trial session, you're also going to get a copy of our free ebook, Building the Predator Mindset. This book has helped thousands of people build confidence, relax under pressure, get motivated, and build mental toughness in wrestling, school, and life. Make sure you sign up for your free trial session today.
No, I just know I have to keep working regardless of if I was on the radar or not. I know my name's definitely up there a little bit more now, but that just kind of pushes me to work harder, because there's definitely guys out there that's probably training to beat me, because younger kids especially, but I definitely have to just keep working, because there's dudes out there that'll try to beat me for sure.
Oh, yeah, there's always people out there. And now you're a Pan Am champ. Talk about that the impact of freestyle on your wrestling and how that's helped.
Honestly, I forgot to mention that last summer freestyle, that made me jump like many levels. That's where I had the best, like I seen the best results out of myself, I should say, in the summertime going into my freshman year. That's definitely, freestyle helps me a lot. That's one of my favorite styles, honestly. That's my favorite style of wrestling, if I had to say. Freestyle. Yeah, that definitely helps a lot, for sure.
What do you think in particular that helps? Is it body awareness? Is it a coordination? I'm sure it's
I would say like being like a mat awareness, it helps with that. And then just not letting people get as deep in on my leg, because like they get in deep on my leg and then get me up out of the air. It'd be a 4-point move just like that. And then into the turn, match over. So yeah, it just helped me be like aware during the match and stuff like that. Not letting dudes get too deep in my leg.
Yeah, absolutely. What does your plan look like for the offseason now to continue to improve? You know, technically, strength, mindset, nutrition, all that.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest thing for this summer that I want to do is, I would say, like, work on my conditioning and then just putting multiple shots together, not just shooting once and then bagging out and then getting the fake, and then it just kind of messes up my process. Because I feel like multiple shots at a time, that definitely gets to a guy. So just working on my multiple shots, yeah, for sure. That's a big thing this summer. And then the mindset part. I always have to keep building the mindset, for sure. Yeah. For sure, that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's a mindset too, putting 2 or 3 shots together where it's, you know, it's not just
without getting tired, because a lot of dudes will take one shot and they're like, oh, I don't want to take another one because I don't want to tire myself out the rest of this match. But you just got to be fearless and just keep going out there and shooting.
That is a big point that you're making right there, because there are a lot of college wrestlers, really good college wrestlers, who that's still in the back of their head, like, I might get tired, because it is such a grind. And I mean, you know, being up against the best guys all the time, it's like that is in our head. What are some of the things you say to yourself to help overcome that, like knowing that you're ready?
Like the conditioning part, is that what you're saying, like during the match? Yeah, so I just kind of like just keep it. It's like a little voice in my head. I'm just like, don't let yourself get tired. Don't let yourself get tired. Like, and then if I go out of bounds and it's like a little break, I'll take a deep breath. Caleb Smith on my team, he told me this. He's like, wrestle 30 seconds at a time. 30 seconds at a time. So I honestly listen to that. That was something that helped me this year. 30 seconds at a time during the match, because it honestly is, when in reality, if you just take it as 30 seconds at a time, the match will go much slower and you'll just start to think way more clear and stuff like that. So yeah,
that's great. I love that, because it's like chunking down. You have those big goals. But when you're thinking about the whole match, it seems like a long time.
It seems long. Like that first 3 minutes of the match it's forever. It feels forever. And so you just break it down in 30 seconds, and it doesn't seem like a much bigger task, for sure. It seems like a small task when you do it like that.
Right. It's like you could do anything for 30 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. You can do anything in 30 seconds. For sure.
Awesome. So what is the practice? Did you already jump back into it, or maybe you take another?
Yeah, I took this week off, and I'll probably take part of next week, and then I'll get back on the mat, because my next tournament will probably be World Team Trials, because I've qualified for World Team Trials already, but U20s is in the end of April in Vegas. I could go to that, and just, if I was to win that, I would sit in the finals at World Team Trials, but I kind of want to give my body a little break, because I had a long season, so. And then the coaches, what were you about to say?
No,
coaches just think that's like the best thing to do. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of time off and just train and get ready for World Team Trials. Because I'm still U20s, so.
No, absolutely, because it's like, you know, it's great getting that competition, but at the same time, it's constantly running your body down. It's like, you know, it's not like,
for sure.
It's not like the season's easy. The season's a grind here. Now you're coming out here, and it's like, you know, you're getting, and then especially when going against world competition, it's like, these are people who, they're not going through the NCAA season. That's what they're getting ready for.
That's their NCAA tournament. That Worlds, that's theirs. So,
but how does the NCAA prepare you for world competition? Like, what's that advantage? Because a lot of people might say, well, you're making weight all the time, you're grinding your body down. Okay, well, that's one side of it. But what are the positives of having that, the college American,
like, because we do multiple day weigh-ins, and I'm pretty sure overseas it's the same day. Or you got to make scratch both days. At least when I went to Pan Am's, I'm pretty sure. But like, I feel like American wrestling, it helps me. Like, it's a grind. We wrestle. I feel like we wrestle a lot harder than most foreigners, and so whenever I go overseas and wrestle, it just feels like I'm more aggressive than they are, because a lot of them just like to feel you out, do the play, like to play the little game. And so I feel like when I go out there and just put it on them, they're not used to that. So
Yeah,
I just feel that's our advantage.
yeah,
for sure.
And as you said, it's like when we're thinking, especially in NCAAs, where the thought is, well, what if I get tired out there? It's probably not the same way when you're going up against foreigners, because they're you're the one.
Yeah.
We're the ones who are always dictating the pace. Like
Always the aggressors.
yeah,
We're usually the aggressors in that situation.
yeah.
For sure.
It's great stuff. Awesome.
For sure.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll definitely have to keep up with your careers. Just keep
Yeah,
snowing.
for sure.
We just keep seeing things go up for you. So you're on the JB James Green path over at Nebraska, and Nebraska's certainly the place to do it. So
yeah, I appreciate that, man. It was fun doing this interview for sure.
absolutely, keep up the great work. Talk soon.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yep. See ya.
Bye.